Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Please consider subscribing to my channel. So today I'm gonna be showing you my newest fragrances that I have got myself just recently. Some of the fragrances, two fragrances, I have already featured in my videos, recent videos, but kind of officially these fragrances are new, so I just wanted to introduce you to my new fragrances, or my fragrances to you, better. That's better. So anyway, it's no particular order. I'm just gonna start taking one by one and describing them in brief to you. So this is the Gucci, and this is Gucci Bloom Ambrosia di Fiori, and oh my gosh, this is one of the best lines of fragrances in my opinion, the Gucci Bloom. Every single fragrance that they have, and I do have 4 fragrances so far, well actually 5. I have a smaller size of the yellow one as well. This is like in my purchase list. If I'm gonna find it at a good price point, I'm gonna get as well. Anyway, this is one of the best white flower fragrance lines if you are into white flowers. This one is just a beautiful fragrance that is full of tuberose, very potent, very unapologetic. So if you are not a fan of white flowers, if you don't like white flowers, if you don't like tuberose, stay away. Stay away. It's so potent, it's so present, it's so in your face. So it has jasmine, honeysuckle, tuberose, rose, and orris. Luckily for me, I don't feel any rose. I actually don't feel any orris as well, and no honeysuckle. I just feel here 2 alternating fragrances: tuberose and jasmine, tuberose and jasmine, jasmine and tuberose, like just like that, and such a beautiful fragrance. And I do think that this is a brilliant fragrance if you live in some warmer climate. If you have these longer summers and scorching hot summers, this is just such a beautiful going out fragrance for summer. It just, wow, it's good. Well, not actually only for summer, because I'm using it in, I will be using it in winter, obviously, in any actually season, because I love it. So, but in summer I do think it's a really beautiful choice of fragrance. The next one is a little bit of a nostalgia fragrance. So this is the fragrance that is called Laura. This is not Laura, this is Laura, and it's by Laura Biagiotti. And this is the fragrance I remember myself getting my first bottle of this one. Not this bigger size. I got myself a 15 ml, and it was like, I was quite young back then. Well, my earliest 20s, and every autumn and every spring in Finland we have this big department store, and they have this a week, well actually 4 days back then, of sales, very intensive sales, and they have these offers for everything basically. And they had these 15 ml bottles of this one, of Laura Biagiotti, at a fraction of the price, and I got myself a bottle. It was like, oh my gosh, I possessed something, such a beautiful, such a striking beauty fragrance. So anyway, I still like it. I do. This is definitely a kid of its era. So this is the fragrance that was launched in 94, I believe. So this is a scent of end of the 90s, the beginning of 2000s as well. So this fragrance has notes of, it has a lot of notes, obviously. It was a thing back then in the 90s and 2000s. It has peach, watermelon, lychee, green nose, plum, bergamot, rosewood, freesia, cyclamen, lily of the valley, violet, orchid, jasmine, rose, musk, vanilla, sandalwood, cedar, amber, and vetiver. It has so many notes, and Such a beautiful fragrance. It's a little bit nostalgic, so it takes me to this like nostalgia journey. I'm not a nostalgic person. I try to look forward the future. I try to live in present and look forward to the future. But sometimes it's actually very good to get back to where you came from and just revisit some places and some faces. So this is the one that actually helps me to do that. The next one is the beautiful fragrance, and I do think that it's very, very underestimated by so many people because they just look at the bottle and say, like, why is this bottle so childish? And this is a beautiful bottle by, I'm gonna take it off. So this is the beautiful bottle and the beautiful fragrance by Cacharel. And this is Yes I Am Glorious. And such a nice one. And I actually have 3 of them. Yes, this is my third bottle, third type of the bottle. They have 5, I believe, so far. So they have peach, mandarin, orange, frangipani, tiare flower, magnolia, sweet notes, milk, sandalwood, and white cedar extract. And it opens up like very fruity. It has this fruity sweetness and it has this flower sweetness, a little bit of exotic vibe as well. Such a beautiful one, such an easy grab for summer, for this vacation near the sea, and it's just so good. And the beautiful thing about these fragrances, they are so affordable, and I just love them. This one is the fragrance that I actually had already, and this is the fragrance that I like. This is the line that I love. So this is Elizabeth Arden and Green Tea Nectarine Blossom. And this one, it has a lot of notes. It has peach, green tea, exotic fruits, bergamot, nectarine, nectarine blossom, and musk. In my opinion, well, these notes are they are probably there, but with my nose, which is not a nose of a perfumer, it's just an ordinary normal human nose, and I just feel green tea. It feels like a classic green tea plus nectarine, so plus this kind of fruity notes. Very beautiful one, an easy reach, a beautiful fragrance for summer. If you want a fragrance that is refreshing, beautiful, striking, it's not long lasting. Some people actually prefer their fragrances to vanish after kind of 30-40 minutes. I know these people because they kind of think that they want to make an impact. Well, when you first meet a person and this person has a fragrance on them, right? You smell, you feel, and then they prefer the fragrance to go away. So the fragrance isn't on a way to make acquaintance. I know it's weird. I'm not supporting that. I love my fragrance to be there, to stay with me, to be with me all the time. But if you're like that, if you want something that lingers and then goes away, just go for these fragrances. They are amazing. Next one is kind of a blind buy, but I know the brand, and I actually have 2 fragrances from the brand, and this one was a blind buy, and luckily this is a success blind buy. This is Le Couvent, and this is the newest bottle. I do have 2 older bottles. This one is Smyrna, and I was kind of on a fence with this fragrance. I'm actually wearing it today. This is not a fragrance, I have to be honest with you, it's not a fragrance that I'm gonna use often, I'm gonna use actively, not at all. But this is the fragrance. Sometimes it kind of, I have this state where I want to wear something, but I don't want to wear anything that I have. And I want something that is unlike everything I have. And this is one of these fragrances. It's such a strange fragrance. So it has Turkish rose, black pepper, woody notes, vetiver, cardamom, and citruses. And this is the fragrance that luckily I don't feel any rose in it. It has a lot of spices, but you don't smell like a stand in a shop that sells spices. You don't smell like this marketplace that sells spices. It's spicy, but it's like acceptably spicy. And this fragrance has something. This is not a fragrance I'm gonna be willing to wear often, but this is definitely a fragrance that I'm willing to wear. Next one is the fragrance by Marc Jacobs. And I remember the first time when I actually tried this fragrance, and I was like, oh my gosh, for some reason for me, it smelled like cookies. Now that I smell it again, it doesn't smell like cookies. Maybe there was someone that smelled like cookies wearing another fragrance, but it doesn't smell like cookies at all. Now that I look at the pyramid of this fragrance, I kind of understand what might have provoked this cookie association. Anyway, this is the Perfect by Marc Jacobs, and don't be alarmed with this by this opulent, over the top cap. It's kind of a lot, but it kind of fits this bottle. The bottle is simple and sleek, and the cap is like, wow, here I am. So anyway, this is a beautiful fragrance. If you keep seeing something behind me, this is the liquid that I use for my contact lenses, because I wear contact lenses. So this one is good. This has rhubarb and narcissus, almond milk, cashmeran, and cedar. And I kind of understand that probably this almond milk has tricked me into thinking about the cookies. Or maybe I was just hungry. I have no idea. But I don't feel cookies anymore. I just feel a beautiful, beautiful, warmer flowers. Like almost velvety warm, a bit sweet flowers. Such a good one. Such a good one. Next one, I am really, really happy to have gotten this one because I have been hunting for this fragrance because this is a recurrent fragrance. The brand releases it and it's always like limited edition. I'm happy because I've got it, and I'm happy because I've got it on sale. So this is a beautiful fragrance by Jo Malone, and this is Orange Bitters. And every single year they release Orange Bitters, and it's a little bit different bottle. So this year it was in this kind of bow. I actually take off the bow because it kind of irritates me a little bit because it just doesn't stay on the bottle. Anyway, Orange Bitters, such a beautiful fragrance. They release it. I don't know what's happening to my throat. I'm sorry. I just keep losing my voice. I have to drink some water. Sorry, guys. It's probably the you go out and it's hot. You go inside the store and it's kind of cool because of the air conditioner. And anyway, Orange Bitters. The notes of the Orange Bitters are sweet orange, mandarin orange, bitter orange, orange galore, dried plum, amber, and sandalwood. For me, it's kind of this a bit candied orange, without the cinnamon. Nothing Christmassy in this one. Well, it does seem like a bit Christmassy, but not this spicy Christmassy. Such a beautiful one. And it's not that I'm gonna be using it just for winter, just for the Christmas time. I'm using it now. I love it. I just love this one. The next one is a fragrance that I was on a fence with the original one, because you see this one is a flanker, and I do have an original one in a smaller bottle. I have 10 ml bottle. This 10 ml bottle, I want to say, is probably 4 years old now, and it's not even 1/3 of the bottle, not even 1/4 of the bottle is used because it has salt in it, in this fragrance. This one actually has salt as well. This is Olympea Legend. But for some reason, the salt in this fragrance doesn't irritate me as much as salt in that Olympea Classiqe fragrance. I don't know what it is. I don't know if the salt is different. The molecule that recreates the salt is different. I have no idea. But this one is definitely not a salt fragrance for me. This salt doesn't sting on my skin, because usually the salty fragrances, they have this kind of behavior on my skin. It's stinky. It's a little bit stinky. So this one is the fragrance that has plum, apricot, sea salt, floral notes, ginger flower, vanilla, tonka beans, amber, and sand. And for me, this is an apricot, warmer apricot fragrance. Is very fruity for me. It's very, very fruity and very cozy, and just there's this strange note that I attributed to the sand. I didn't even know that the sand has smell. I mean, I do know because if you're on a beach, you kind of smell a sand, but it's more like ocean or the sea. And if the sand is a little bit humid or wet, then it has a smell. But anyway, there's the strange smell in this fragrance, and I attribute it to the sand, but it's strange scent that I actually like. I'm very happy with this one. And you see how much I've used of it. It's like here, you see? Anyway, next one is the fragrance that I love. I love this fragrance. I love the brand. I love this line. And this is the fragrance that I have been saying no to myself. Don't buy it, don't buy it, don't buy it, because I have to keep sipping my water, guys. I don't know what is happening to me, to my throat. Why not? Because even though I love the brand, I love the scent, this is the scent that is my favorite of all. This is a beautiful Jean-Paul Gaultier Classique, but this is the Eau de Parfum version, and I love the Eau de Toilette one, and it's beautiful. This one, I was saying no to myself for the longest time because it has booze in it. It has boozy notes. And for the longest time, I was kind of not a fan of the boozy fragrances because I don't like to smell boozy. I don't like people to think that I've been drinking when I'm not drinking. I mean, I'm not opposed to drinking, because everyone does what he or she likes, right? We like it, we drink it. We don't like it, we don't drink. Everyone is free to do whatever they want to do. But some fragrances that they're so boozy and they smell like booze, that for me, it's not a thing that I want to smell like booze, especially if I didn't drink a single drink that night. Anyway, this has rum and rose, Sicilian mandarin, orchid, narcissus, vanilla, amber, tonka bean, and sandalwood. And I don't know what it is, but the first editions of this fragrance, in my opinion, they were much boozier than this one. Maybe it's my preference towards the boozy fragrances, or I should better say tolerance is I'm more tolerant to the boozy fragrances, maybe. Or maybe this one isn't as boozy as the previous ones, that I actually love it. I love it. I don't like it as much as the Classique Eau de Toilette, but this one, it's not bad. It's absolutely not bad. And it's actually very, very reminiscent of my favorite Classique Eau de Toilette. So I'm really happy to have this fragrance in my collection, finally. Next one is the fragrance that I've got myself because I was offered a quite substantial discount in a store for any fragrance. So I've chose this one. And this one is again down the memory lane and everything like that. So this is Ange Eau de Mon, and I remember I used to have this fragrance years ago. I was my first year of the university, probably first or second, and I've used it, and it was such a good fragrance, and I love it. And I remember so many people had it, so many people smelled like that. So this is a very beautiful, very interesting fragrance. Saffron, thyme, mandarin orange, lily, ylang ylang, orchid, vanilla, tonka bean, Brazilian rosewood, and oak moss. And this is not dated fragrance. Like, this fragrance is gonna be 20 years in a couple of years. But in my opinion, this is very now fragrance. It's not sweet, it's not very herbal. Well, it has thyme and saffron, and one can say that, well, it's kind of herbal. It is not. Such a beautiful and feminine fragrance. If you haven't tried it one, if you haven't seen this one, please go out and test this one, because this one is a masterpiece that I can't put the lid on it, because if you twist it, it's not like a lid on the majority of the bottles that you can put it like that, you can put it like that, and it's gonna close. This one you should put it in one and only position to close this one. Anyway, you should go and get this one. Well, get a sample or get to test it, because in my opinion it's good. It is good. It's probably one of the best fragrances that came in the first decade of 2000s, in my opinion. Next fragrance is the fragrance that hold on a moment. Yeah, these are the two fragrances that I've actually featured on my channel already. So these are the fragrances that they are technically new, because these are the fragrances that I have recently got myself. But I have already featured them, and I have already talked about them last year and in the beginning of this year. So this one is a good fragrance by Valentino, and this is Valentino born in Roma. Yellow, not yellow, green Stravaganza. Obviously it's green, it's not yellow. Beautiful fragrance, wonderful fragrance. Quite simple one, but I got it at a discount, and I'm really happy to have gotten it at a discount. So I'm using it, I will keep using it, and people seem to like it very much. So I'm happy. I'm happy not because the people like it. I'm the first person and the last person that has to like it. But this one is a good one. And this one, and I do have videos about both of these fragrances. This is the fragrance that I was on a fence, and I was like, not on a fence about the fragrance, I was on a fence about the volume that I wanted this fragrance in. So because I had this fragrance in samples, obviously, then I had this fragrance in 10 mils, and I was like, well, I don't need a 50 ml, because like I have already had enough, and blah blah blah. And then I see this beautiful offer, and 50 ml fragrance costs less than 30, and I've got it. So this is Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana, and this is the fragrance that I have been haunting longest time, and now I have it, and I enjoy it, and I love it. It's such a beautiful fragrance, and I like it a lot, and people seem to like it as well. And I will link in my description box the review for the green Stravaganza and for this Dolce & Gabbana, the two links on my videos. If you haven't seen them already, please go check them out and let me know if you like these fragrances. Please let me know if you have these fragrances already, if you know them, how do you like them, and I wish you a beautiful, beautiful Sunday, beautiful day, beautiful summer. And I'm sorry for my voice. I have no idea what's happening. And let me know if you liked what I have got for me. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for your attention. Bye.